In December 2016, the BBC broadcasted a show called The Big Life Fix. Episode 1 featured James, a 23-year-old photographer from Liverpool who suffers from a rare genetic skin condition called epidermolysis bullosa. The condition is terminal, but James is determined to make a difference. The only thing that distracts him from the pain is photography. James was unable to use his camera without the careful aid of his dad, but thanks to the BBC show and product design engineer Jude Pullen, he has designed and made a custom camera rig enabling James to use his camera unaided for the first time in years. James can now move the camera, zoom, focus and even change exposure, all without the aid of his dad anymore. After seeing the documentary, and without any hesitation, I contacted James and offered to make the drive to teach him over the course of a weekend how to get the most out of his camera and use it in manual mode. I'll also introduce him how to use off-camera flash and pass over a very generous surprise gift for him at the end. This is when I met James Dunn. Hello.
How are you?
Hey James, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. This
Hi.
is my dad.
Hi, Kenny.
Hey Kenny, nice to meet you. Tommy.
Nice to meet
Did you have a good journey?
It was really good, thank you. How you doing? You alright?
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah.
Good, good. Oh, I'm so happy to be
Come
here.
on in, you must be shattered.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So my name's James Dunn and I'm 23. I suffer from a rare genetic skin condition called recessive dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa. Basically, I'm missing the glue in between each layer of skin. Therefore, my skin will just peel off, blister and scar with friction, leaving wounds all over my body. I have lots of hobbies. One of the main things is photography. I love getting out and taking pictures, and it seems to sort of take my mind off the pain, and it allows me to express myself creatively and use it as a way of being happy and positive and pain-free. So yeah, it's a great hobby. I'm really looking forward to Tommy's visit. You know, we've been talking about it for a while now over Facebook, and now it's actually here. I'm really excited. The main things I'm excited about is getting to know my camera more, getting to know manual mode, learning about flash, learning about different styles of photography. And yeah, I know I like taking pictures, and I know what makes a good photograph, but I'm not keyed up on the technicalities of how to use a camera, and that's what I'm hoping Tommy will teach me.
I was saying to Mike in the car over here, James, it's really cool that we can finally meet, because we spoke around January time, I think.
Yeah,
and I wanted it to make it my kind of January personal project, and what with my commitment, your commitment and Mike's commitments, it's good that we can finally now.
Well, yeah, I was in hospital at the start of the year, so I couldn't do many things, but it's good to be up and about again. And
yeah, didn't you say you had an operation?
Hand operation, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on my hands to separate my fingers, but that's all good now. So yeah, but I'm thankful that you got in contact with me and we managed to sort something. Yeah,
well, I was just really inspired when I saw the documentary when it went out. I really liked the passion that you had for photography. I kind of saw myself in you and how passionate you were, and how nothing stopped you. So that's why I was really keen, and I just felt compelled to find you on Facebook and just leave that message. And I remember I just said, oh, if you need any help, let me know. And you said like you're learning a bit more about your camera now. You can use it.
The TV program sort of portrayed me as a professional photographer, but I'm definitely not. It's just a hobby which I want to learn more about and start using it to its full potential. It's very high tech.
I know, it looks incredible. So how much of a difference has this made? Because before, I mean, from the documentary, your dad was helping you frame the shots.
Yeah, well, my dad's, as you can see, my dad's still setting it up for me, but once this is all set up, I can do everything myself.
Cool.
So, yeah, before my dad was holding the camera and I was telling him what to do.
I was getting shouted at.
Yeah, so I go on the phone. And there it is, Zocus, so that's what they designed for me, the red app there.
Zocus, amazing.
So one does the focus, one does the zoom.
Oh wow.
So everything, basically everything I can do on that, you can do on this.
And this is why, another reason I really wanted to come, because obviously they're not going to go into great detail on the documentary, but I wanted to know, like, how do you change your aperture in ISO, even if you could. They're obviously not going to go into that much detail, but someone like me would want to know the technical details.
Is there any technical rules when editing you've got to follow, or is it purely your outlook on the picture and your creativity?
I'd say the latter. I'd say it's totally your thing, it's your art. I can always offer you advice, but that's all it will be, because photography and any art is subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder, right? So it's what you
I think.
Yeah, it's whatever you think, and if you're happy with it, but someone else doesn't like it, it's your art, and it felt right at the time, right? Yeah. At the time, it felt like, well, that's the right colours. I'm happy with that. Then that's fine. And then if you keep doing it, you'll eventually adopt your own style, and you'll find you're editing your photos similarly. And then pretty soon, it'll be like, that's a James Dunn picture, because people will know that that's your style. That's how you shoot, and that's how you edit. Because how you edit the photo is almost 50% of as important as the taking the picture, because that's where you can be just as creative in the editing program as you can when you take the photo. You can go crazy with Photoshop, but in terms of color, I like to keep things simple in terms of setting up my portraits and keeping the colors. I like to keep them muted, and that's my style. Some people like it really contrasty, really vibrant. And they like it. Maybe it's not my cup of tea, but that's all it is, because it's subjective, if that makes sense. We can look at one of your images, one of my images, and I could say, well, maybe this needs to be a little bit brighter, or maybe it needs to be a little bit darker. We can have a look at maybe what I think I would do to the image, and then what you would do, and then we can kind of compare and meet in the middle. Cool. Yeah? All right. Do you want to get a photo of me?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? All right. So I'll come in front of you. All right, let's have a look what we got. The natural look. I think the angry slash psychotic one was much better. Yeah.
So the first day I met Tommy was amazing. We spent a while getting to know each other and just talking and chatting, and then I enjoyed learning about the camera with his informative PowerPoint and keynote he created, you know, sitting down and getting visual representation of what each program of the camera means and what each setting means, and just it was a full day's learning, but it was also fun too, to get to know each other.
So that's why for a split second when it goes black, what's happening is the mirror is moving out the way so that light can pass through and hit the sensor so that your image is made. All right, so this is your shutter curtain, all right? When you have it open for 1 second, and then it closes. Now in that time, you had light coming in. So if you had it open for 3 seconds, it's going 1, 2, 3, so you got 3. What if I want to shoot at 1.4? Well, I can't do it on this £2,000 lens, but I can do it on a £350 lens. Let's just say I photograph this white wall here. I'm going to put my camera into auto mode, and I'm going to take a shot of this white wall. Now, that's not white, is it?
No, it's grey.
It's come out grey because in that split second the camera thought, oh, that's too bright, I need to bring it down. So by doing the second option, you would still get the same exposure.
But you get a better picture.
100% right.
Yeah.
That's it. You got it, James.
Yeah.
That's it. Perfect. Well, that's basically that's the basics of the three elements and the exposure triangle. So now I think the best thing to do would be now to go out and we can put what we've learned into practice.
Yeah.
And we can now kind of walk through it. So like, right, we want to take a photo of this. So what's our setting priority and how do we get there? Does that sound good?
I'd love to do that. Let's get out and start shooting.
Let's do it.
And by the way, it's not usually this clean.
That's cool, man. No worries.
I just drive into place and then that's done. It locks in automatically.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, so off we go.
It's crazy. It's so cool. I imagine now it's just second nature to you, right?
Yeah.
Just like anyone else driving.
My driving instructor, he taught people in wheelchairs, but never with these controls.
Really?
So it was a learning curve for both of us. We were both like, what do we do? My car basically is, everyone calls it something like off Back to the Future, or, you know, look into the future, because it's very technical. But yeah, it's amazing. It's given me the independence to be able to get out there and drive on my own, which is fantastic. So on the left side, it's like a mini steering wheel, which I use to control the direction of the car, just like you would a normal steering wheel. And on the right side, I've got a mini joystick which controls the acceleration and brake. So I push forward to brake, pull back to automatic, but I don't have to touch a steering wheel at all. I just use two little cool joysticks which look good and enable me to drive a car and be independent. So yeah, it's fantastic. Going out and getting the sunset was epic, getting that sunset and yeah, just taking advantage of the golden hour, which is something I've never done before. Yeah, I thought there was only one golden hour in the day, and that's the morning, and I'm not good at mornings, so there's no chance I get up for sunrises, but sunset was a good one.
That's a really good first day, James.
Yeah, I've loved it. It's been brilliant. Fulfilled, action-packed.
Sorry?
Fulfilled, action-packed day.
Action-packed. You really have taken much more in than other people do that I teach, yeah.
See, I was expecting to be not very good, to be honest, at absorbing all the information.
No, well, you've been really, really good. Did it feel like it?
Yeah,
it helped
no, I
and
did.
It
It was, as soon as you sat down with me with that PowerPoint, the visual aspect of it, I just seemed to absorb everything straight away.
Oh.
And that's what I've been wanting to do, because I've been YouTube tutorials, blogs, and nothing's been sinking in. I just needed someone to sit down with me and teach me.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm pleased you liked it.
Yeah.
Have another cool day tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that Sergeant Pepper's thing. That should be really good.
Yeah.
Alright, it's the start of day 2. The first day went so well. When we arrived, I was so happy to meet James, and the family are so welcoming. we had such a good day. The first thing we did was we were looking at James's camera rig, which was, I mean, I saw it on the documentary like thousands of people did last year, and went to see it in person. It was so cool because I wanted to know a little bit more technically about it, which they wouldn't show in the show. Like, I didn't even know if James had the ability to change his settings manually. So driving up here, I was actually thinking, okay, I'm coming up to teach him how to use his camera in manual mode, but is he going to even be able to change manual settings? And so when he showed me how on his tablet he can change the settings manually if he wanted to, I was really happy that he had the ability to do that. It's just incredible how he is able to take full control of his camera. But I think I was even more surprised that he was able to drive. When I saw that his setup for his driving, it was incredible. I had no idea that a car like that even existed. I saw it in the documentary last year, but it was really nice to see it in person. And when James offered to drive to the sunset location, I was actually really excited, and I'm glad he said that, because I really wanted to see his car and see him drive. And so it was a really cool experience yesterday. We're gonna be driving again today. It should be really fun.
When we first got into town, I decided to book me and Tommy into this exhibition called the Illuminarium in Liverpool, and it's the 50th anniversary this month of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, the Beatles album. So they brought this huge light show to Liverpool. And it's really hard to describe. It's like this epic light show in a giant tent of bubbles. You just walk through and all these colours are created through natural light. It looks like there's a load of amazing light techniques and LEDs in the tent, but there's actually not. It's just clever use of light, and it was amazing because it was visually and creatively good to see. But obviously light is good to, you know, it's the main thing in photography too, so they both link in together, and yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
After the luminarium, James asked me to give him his medicine. How often do you have to have the morphine?
So I usually have it every 3 hours.
Every 3 hours?
Yeah. And there's never a time when I'm not in pain, but just get used to it because I can't be high on painkillers all the time. So.
Could you imagine?
I know,
just give you a few shots of this.
Because I've been on it for like 20 odd years, it doesn't really make me high.
Oh, really?
It doesn't affect me like that.
Well, I'll just give you the one, then we won't go. We won't.
No, don't go the whole full.
We won't go the whole full.
That's fine. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. My girlfriend said to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
You've been trained a professional, but we ain't professionals yet.
Okay. So, all right.
Just lift that up, and then that. Should be there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And you just pop it open.
like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Just make sure that's fully in. Okay, and then just, is it kind of fast or?
As fast or slow as you want to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that, man. That's great help.
Of course, man. Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
No worries. So I'll just put that back in there?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Cool. Whew. I think I was more nervous than you were.
Oh, I'm dead.
No.
Lethal injection. Yes.
Oh no, it's the wrong one. Oh, don't do that, James.
You've been asking me mum to euthanize me for years. Now I've just pulled you into it. Every day I take morphine throughout the day, every 2 to 3 hours, to help with the pain, because there's never a time I'm not in pain, and the morphine just kind of helps ease it a bit. But every other day I have to change my bandages, which takes about 4 to 5 hours a day. I start off, strip all the bandages off, cleanse myself with, wash, antiseptic wash, antibacterial wash, give myself a good clean, all the wounds a good clean, and then I wrap them back up again. So you can see it takes a while to do that, and it's quite hard, but it needs to be done when you've got a condition like this. And yeah, when I've got infections, it's even worse, because the wounds aren't particularly nice. They're a bit mucky, hot, sweaty, uncomfortable, but it's just got to do it, and it's just part and part of life with EB. So change that to about 7.1, yeah?
Yep. Okay, cool. So now it looks like it's too dark,
yeah.
But that's actually a good thing, because what we're going to do is
light it up with flash.
Light it up with flash, because the flash is going to be a lot brighter than the light we have here, because this existing light here is called ambient light, and then we've got our flashlight. Okay, so if you want something dramatic, then you need to kill the ambient light, as they call it. So you want to make this light dark. Then once that's dark, then the flash will do the rest.
So we went into town. We went to a place called the Albert Dock, which is a lovely part of Liverpool, with the old industrial docks and the quays. It's amazing, lovely buildings, and it was a great place to test out some flash photography, which I've never done before. So yeah, he showed me how to do that, and I think we got some good shots. I was actually surprised at myself and how well we done. So yeah, that was cool. Totally different part of photography I've never experimented with before, but it was brilliant.
So you're gonna you're gonna photograph me now.
Okay.
So if you get into position here.
Yeah. So now I'm on 1.8. Shall I focus you first, and then switch it to 7.1?
Yes.
No, that never worked. It never went black. I changed it to 7.1, but it never went dark. It is now.
No, it did. Look, it worked. It worked.
Did it?
Well, look at the shot. Look at the shot.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, nice.
It did work. Look.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
But this is the beauty of using flash, because you can manipulate the light and kind of make something look like it was shot at night, or make something look like it was shot during the day.
Yeah.
So we can create something really dramatic and really cool like this. And you can see that with the brick wall, with just a plain simple brick wall, it can make it look like a really professional looking image. So shall we take a few more?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's have a look at that one. So let's go back to.
Wow.
Oh my God! Look at that.
That's cool, isn't it?
Look how dramatic that looks. Dude.
Wow.
Dude. That's so good. See how dramatic that looks. See, you remember we were talking about yesterday when you said, when we were photographing your dad, and you said, can we get the background okay? Like, can we expose the background? Because at the moment it's white. See, now, if you'd have taken these same photographs...
That would have been bleached out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what, see, because you're balancing out, so now the flash was the same brightness as over there. So that's why you're able to get the best of both worlds.
Can you replicate this replicate this type of shot without having a big rig like that?
You could have a
with
smaller...
like an on-camera flash. Or...
It wouldn't, not on
No.
camera, no.
No.
The flash would have to be off. You could get smaller soft boxes, but you wouldn't be able to recreate
And
this.
did you say sometimes instead of having it on a tripod, you just get someone to hold it?
Yeah, so, sometimes, yeah. So, if I'm going travelling, then yeah, I'll have someone holding it. Or if I'm like halfway up a hill, then obviously a light stand won't hold it. But if you're just out here doing this sort of thing, then you can easily do something like this. This is really, really simple.
Yeah.
If you're on a flat surface, then
if I just pick a few models, get them to come to the docks for the day, I can build up a great portfolio. And
exactly, yeah, you can create some really dramatic stuff like this. Like even models as well, they would love something like this.
Before today, I didn't think something I'd be interested in, but after taking shots of you and learning how easy it is to use flash, I'm made up, and I think that's some of the best work I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So thanks for showing me.
Cool, man. No, I'm really, really pleased you enjoyed yourself.
Really enjoyed it, honestly. So for a while now, since I was younger, I've been doing lots of charity events to raise awareness for my condition. And something I've always been into is public speaking. And, you know, if someone wants someone to speak at their event about my condition, I always put my hands up and I always say, I'll do it, because it's just something I enjoy doing. Now, years ago, I'd talk about the condition, how bad it was, how painful it was, how depressing it was, and how much it affects my life negatively. Now, I'm putting a whole different slant on that. I've learned to focus on the positive points of the condition, the happiness I have in life. You know, EB isn't me. You know, it doesn't define who I am. It's a small part of me, and you know that it's 10% of me. The other 90% is a whole lot. It's a whole different aspect. You know, there's a lot more things to me apart from EB, and that's what I like to talk about. I like to talk about how, you know, during my hardest times, through pain, through depression, the one thing that's kept me going is positivity and smiling and laughter. A great family helps always, but if you surround yourself by loving, happy people, and you remember, even if you're having a total rubbish day, that you always smile, you're not only going to help yourself and make yourself feel better, but you're going to help the person you smile to. So even if you're walking down the street in London one day and you see someone that looks a bit down, give them a smile. They might not say, you know, oh, that really cheered me up, but you know in your heart that that's going to have an impact on that person, and they're most likely going to remember that for the rest of their day, and it could help them. You know, they might have had a really bad time in work. Smile at them, make the day better, and smile for yourself too. No matter how hard life is, you can't focus on it, because you're just gonna keep going down and down and down. You need to go up and up and up and smile and be positive.
Before I finally left, I still had one more gift to give James. We're just about to go and surprise James now with his own travel kit. James?
Yeah?
I've got a surprise for you.
What?
So, I spoke to Pixapro.
No!
And they have given you your own travel kit.
You are kidding!
I've been
talking about this all day.
I know. And
wow!
And I've known about this all week. You've got your very own Tommy Reynolds travel kit.
Wow!
You've got your own softbox, your own light stand, your own flash. It's the exact same kit that we use today, so you'll know how to use it, how to put it together.
Wow!
The same trigger, same flash, same softbox. You've got your own travel kit.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you.
It's all boxed, it's all ready to go.
This means I can practice what I've learned.
You can do exactly what you've learned. Yeah. It'll be exactly the same, the same setup.
How did you keep that a secret?
It was very hard. When you were saying stuff like, oh, I really wish I had my own kit. I was like,
yeah. And this costs a lot of money usually.
yeah, this travel kit is worth about £500–600.
Wow.
So they've given it.
Dad,
they've given it
this
to you.
is epic. Thank you so much.
So you've got everything you'll ever need to do your off-camera flash, and
Just saying, it's a lovely weekend he's had, and this is the icing on the cake for you, isn't it?
we purposely wanted to keep it a surprise till the very last moment of us leaving. Your trigger is inside the camera bag.
Okay.
The light's in there, and you've got a light stand there. And
a softbox.
And the softbox.
Wow, wow.
It's the 90cm softbox, the same softbox I took to India and took to Vietnam. You got your own version now.
That's all I can say, wow. Did not expect this. And I'm so glad, like, the style of photography you taught me today, I really took to it, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it, man.
I didn't think I'd ever be using flash, but honestly, it's opened my eyes up to how great images can be with flash.
Well, you're absolutely welcome, man. I've had a really good weekend with you, and thanks again for inviting me up.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolute pleasure. Well, you have a good week, man, and we'll see you again soon.
See you later. In the future, I hope to maybe do events like Tommy, be hired by people to take pictures of them, maybe portraits, corporate events, some street photography commissions, and also there'll be a page on the website to buy some of my prints too, to make a little income from it. To be honest, I've never thought of setting up anything like this before, but I'm just thinking, I didn't think I'd ever be able to pick a camera up again, and now I can, so there's no limitations. The world's my oyster.
Since the recording of this documentary, James could comfortably use his camera more creatively in manual mode, mainly photographing street photography and even the odd celebrity too, including Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. Using his newly learned skills, James's photograph of Tom was sold at auction and managed to raise £42,000 for the charity Deborah. Deborah is the national charity that supports people who have EB. Within the charity, James launched a campaign called #FightEB, which has raised over £280,000 to date. All of the money raised from the campaign will not only go to help sufferers live happy lives and create amazing memories, but also fund pioneering research and trials. None of this would be possible without your support, so please help fight EB. To get behind this campaign and to donate, then go to www.fighteb.org.uk. Thank you.